Welcome back, everyone, with the Southern Beer Review. And right off the bat, we're going to admit our faults. This is take 2 on the Cosmic Crown made by Cigar City. This is the last beer in our Cigar City Porch series. We tried this the other day.
On my porch, actually.
On John's porch, and the recording device we used did not record sound. I promise this is not an excuse to drink this again.
Although, but I also want to shout out to Jim Gowan, old buddy of ours in the comments, who was the first to point out to me, hey, where's the sound? So I immediately took the video down, told William, and now here we are to do it again.
So again, this is beer number 4 in our Cigar City out of Tampa, Florida Porch series pack that John picked up. So we're gonna give it another shot. You're gonna hear the mailman, the neighbors, the yard man. You probably hear them, but that's part of doing the Porch series.
Exactly.
So I remember a lot about this beer, and I remember liking it a lot.
Yeah.
So the nose is really good. It smells like a Belgian beer.
Yeah, there's a little peppery hint to the nose, or maybe even a little candy.
But as I said in the video that didn't take, Belgian beers historically come from an old Trappist monk kind of recipe, I guess. Obviously not all Belgian beers are made in monasteries, but the Belgian Trappist monastery monk method of brewing beer dates back like 1,000 years.
Yeah, if I understand, Belgian beer typically has a different strain of yeast. I hope I'm not speaking out of my ass here, but that sounds like something I've read before. Like we've said a million times, we're not really experts on this. We just like beer, but I feel like that's correct. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. If Belgian beer doesn't use a little different strain of yeast.
Belgian beers to me definitely seem to have a almost a liqueur quality.
Yeah.
This checks in 9%.
There's a sweetness.
There is,
and there's also sort of like a fruit flavor, but it's not like a citrus kind of fruit. It's more of like a plum kind of fruit.
Right.
Something like that. I'm not as familiar with it. Apricot maybe.
Very distinct.
Yeah. And
most people I've talked to, John, you ask them about Belgian beers, there's not a lot of middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
You either love them or you hate them, and I think the standard for me personally for the Belgian beers is the Abbott 12.
I was gonna say, this that reminds me a little bit of the Abbott 12. I don't think it's quite as good as the Abbott 12, and I'm not sure if the Abbott 12 may be a double. I'm not sure on that. I
don't remember if it's a double or triple. Again, you can put that in the comments if you know.
Yeah, but that's one of my favorites. But this is excellent, and I get the pepperiness in the taste as well.
Right.
And I get that kind of plum fruitiness, and as the trash man comes by. We're not cutting though, guys. By the way, I also have to shout out to my wife for an early Father's Day gift. We actually do have a tripod now.
And by the way, if you want your trash man to pick up stuff on the curb that causes him to get out of the truck, what you need to do is leave him beer on the curb every now and then, which I've done. In fact, we were talking the other day, and I asked him if he got the beer I left him. He said, yeah, I came and got it that afternoon because I didn't want teenagers to come by and grab it.
When did you leave it?
I think I left him like some Dos Equis or something, something really easy to drink.
Free beer is free beer.
Anyway, so we're getting rid of a lot of stuff at the house, and he had to get out of the truck anyway. So, John, this to me is still a 9. I mean,
yeah,
I like it.
I think we both gave it a 9 last time, and I'm still right there with you. One thing I'll note is I think that maybe it's a product of my fridge. I'm getting a little bit different flavor profile for it because I think it's a little colder.
Right.
And the one we had, maybe we just let it sit long, was a little bit warmer. But that opened up a little different profile. But this is more drinkable like this, too. So it's a hit or miss. I mean, it's one way or the other. 6, 1/2 dozen the other.
Yeah, or some REM lyric from an old album. So this checks in at a 9, and I'm going to go ahead and rate the whole pack. I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that.
The Maduro Brown, the Highlight, the Fancy Papers Hazy IPA, which is probably my least favorite, and I still liked it a lot.
Still liked it.
And then the Cosmic Crown, Belgian style golden ale.
Yeah, I would say that 3 of them, the Maduro, Highlight, and this called Cosmic Crown, were right there, solid 8.5, 9 beers, and then the Fancy Papers a little lower. But I'll go 8.5 as well. I agree with you. That's just a solid pack.
All right, guys. Well, listen, that wraps up Porch Series number 3. We apologize, but when you do